Good morning, everyone. Let's close our eyes. We'll get started with our beautiful morning practice. Thank you all for being here. Just a smidge. Right. So closing eyes. Let's lift from the crown of the head, lifting heads up. Bring the spine straight by wrapping the rib cage in, gently pulling in the lower belly. Hands relaxed on your knees or thighs, whatever feels good this morning. Hands up to receive, hands down to ground. What does your upper body want to do here? Chins are gently tucked in. And just feel your breath, gently filling your lungs, expanding your rib cage. In through your nose, relax your jaw and release your breath out. Gentle rise and fall of your breath. Pause our music. Just take a moment to experience the quiet that surrounds us. When we turn the volume down on our morning, in our lives, being able to sit quietly with ourselves for a few moments here. Just feel your breath, inhaling and exhaling slowly, maybe adding a count to the inhale and maybe a count or two to the exhale, a little deeper, longer exhale as we release and ground down. Focusing on the breath coming in through your nose, swirling through the midbrain. And as you exhale, shoulders dropping, breath coming down through your body, just gently flowing through your rib cage and hips, all the way down to your sits bones. A little bit of fall chill in the air, a little dusting of snow on Cyprus. Changes are coming. Share a little wisdom with you this morning. My mindfulness practice. Every day as we increase our ability to be kind, the kindness in the world increases. As our patience increases, the amount of patience in the world increases. As we develop compassion, the compassion in the world develops. What we think, say, and do matters. And of these, what we do matters most. What we do has the power to improve the world. Through compassionate action, we affect more lives than we could ever imagine. The world is a safer place because of compassion and kindness. The people that come into our world are better off when we show compassion and kindness. When we remember this, we know we are making a real difference every day. And every healthy choice we make not only improves the quality of our lives, it improves the quality and the lives around us. Bringing your hands to heart space in Anjali Mudra. Gently bringing one hand against the other hand in a balanced, gentle resistance. Opening your elbows slightly out to the side to expand on the inhale. Drop your elbows back down on the exhale. And as you inhale, breathing in, lift your elbows. And as you exhale, breathing out compassion, patience, and kindness. First, to heal ourselves. Inhale, elbows gently come out to the side, lifting elbows out. Press in on your palms. Press tightly on your fingertips here. Really steeple your fingers in. Lots of energy. Pressing out, and then exhale down. Elbows come down. Release your fingertip pressure. One more time as you inhale, lift the elbows out, press, 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 and hold the breath gently at the top. And then release on the exhale. Normal breathing here, 2 breaths. And now drop your chin to your chest. Shoulders straighten a little bit more to lift the chest, but drop your chin in. Feel that beautiful stretch down the back of your neck, into your middle part of your back. As you tuck your chin, tuck your belly. It's a beautiful double hit there, being able to pull in and then inhale, lift your chin up, raising hands up to the ceiling and sky, reaching out, opening, take a deep breath here, inhale, and bring hands down, beautiful. Drop your left hand down to the mat and bring your right hand straight up to the ceiling, lift, and then come over, pressing weight into the right sits bone. Beautiful. Take a deep breath. Inhale and come up. Switch and now lift the left arm straight up to the ceiling, reaching high. Reach, reach, reach. And then gently pressing over to the side, bringing it down. Beautiful. And then bring it back up again to center space. Hands coming down to your sides. Add some music in. Let's go down here. Really dumped it out. Sorry. Okay, let's try that again. No. I shouldn't have done that. So sorry, everybody. Let's get back on the page. There we go. Next, so inhale, both arms come up and lift. Bringing arms out to the side in cactus arms. Gently drop this hand down and bring this elbow straight across the body in front of you. So it's a gentle twist, hand comes behind, and then lift, bringing it up, coming back with your weight on the back arms. Lift the arms straight up to the ceiling, gently pressing back, and bring the elbow back down to the front and drop it down. Sweep the left arm out and bring the hand up first. Pressing the right hand gently behind you, and then lift up to the ceiling and bring it back down again. Beautiful. Bring it straight to the front. Feet come out in front of you. Gently slide your heels. Whoops, and my mat came wet. Sliding your heels down. Flex your feet. Good. Roll your feet around. Feel some stretch in there. Not sure we're going to be able to bring this back or not. We'll see. You're more important than the music. Yeah, I get that. You guys are more important. Lift your arms up. Gentle bend in the knees and bring it forward to gently press down. A bigger bend in the knees if there's any low back issues. Chins tuck in. Hands come down the sides of your shins in your calves. Thumbs are pressing forward. Grab your ankles or your calves, whatever feels good, and tuck your elbows in tight. You're sort of balling up. Oh. It found us. I didn't do that. Good. All right, and then inhale again. Bring your feet back with you, bringing them back up on your toes. Bring your toes down to the ground. There you go, beautiful. And now lift one foot up with your toe as your brace if you need it. And then lift the other foot straight up in the air. I'm still holding the backs of my knees. And then pull your chest up to the ceiling to lift. This is supported boat pose, Navasana. Take a deep breath here. Inhale. Drop both toes down, both feet down, and slide your heels with your toes up, back out in front of you. This mat's gonna go for a walk today unless I sit on it. Slide your heels in front of you, lift your hands up. Inhale, pull your lower abs in, gently folding down forward, beautiful. Standing, this would be Uttanasana, forward fold. As you inhale, bring both knees back up, toes are down, hands can come up, and then if you'd like to come into boat pose, supported or not supported, supported with your hands, whoops, under your knees right here, I took off my blanket, right here, or even supporting one leg or the other leg and lifting up, bringing hands up, and then bend your knees, hands come under your knees as you pull them in, pull them in, pull them in. Lower ab work. Who knew we'd start with core work this morning, huh? If at any time you need to drop your feet down to the floor, go ahead and do that. Rocking forward, stretching your feet out again. Inhale, arms up. As you exhale, slightly bending the knees, come forward, dropping it down. Hands sweep the tops of the shins. One more time, draw feet back up into body. Hands come under knees as you tip back. Lifting feet, half boat pose or full boat pose. Hands can come to the sides. Pull those lower abs in. Keep breathing. Yes, you can do this. Beautiful, everybody. Bring your knees in before you drop your feet. Pulling up and then underneath your legs. Stretching one leg out, right leg out, left leg in. Drop that knee to the side. Beautiful. Inhale, both arms come up. Both arms come to the left side. Gently planting your hands to the side. We're actually going to lift and turn in this direction onto the knee. So as you come forward, you're going to lift the body. Foot is planted, it is grounded, the knee is planted, and the arm comes up to the side for a stretch. Beautiful. Take a deep breath here. Please be sure your arm is underneath your shoulder. Big stretch here, and then drop the hand over the top of your head, reaching as long as you can from your fingertips to your toes. Beautiful side stretch here. Inhale, lift the arm up, begin to drop that left hip down to the ground. Nice work, bring it back to the center. You okay, Patsy? Yeah. Okay, lift, inhale, same series. Beautiful, Barbara, I can see you in your purple tights. Come forward, you and Dia are a match today. Drop your heads down. Inhale, knees come into the body. Begin to tip back slightly, supporting your knees if you need to. No lower back pitch. By pulling your lower abs in, supporting your lower back. Lift out. Hands coming to the side if possible. Keep breathing. Chins are tucked. Grab back under your knees to inhale. Knees come into body. Feet are still off the floor. Beautiful. And now stretch out your right or your left foot. And the right knee comes down to the side, sitting up nice and straight first as you pull your body into alignment, gently rolling out to the right side. Hand is planted, hand is right under your shoulder, rolling up to that knee, supporting by your knee on the ground, your foot on the ground. Lift that arm up to the ceiling. Beautiful lift here. A little more challenge would be to float that leg up. If you'd like to do that, maybe you need a little balance and posture with the leg behind you, or the foot stays on the ground. Inhale and lift that arm up over the shoulder. And as you do this, please, everybody, roll your pubic bone and hips forward. So you get that deep side stretch here. Head is gently to the side. If you need to support it with that up hand, that's perfectly fine. Stretching out, if possible, that foot and that toe and the fingertips. Maybe lift that foot off the ground. Drop the foot down. Sweep the arm overhead and begin to come down to that right hip. Coming forward. And the knees. I only brought you one mat. Did you want a double mat for your knees? We'll get you another blanket. Knees come in gently right here. And inhale, both arms come up. As you exhale, forward, fold down. And then inhale, come up to seated position. Gently turn, drawing your knees in, coming down to your mats on your backs. Down to your mats. We are going to do an arc C stretch. So as you come down to your mat, first and foremost, stretch your arms up overhead and feet out as long as possible. I'm going to close that window because the mowers are here. I'm going to walk you through this verbally so you guys get to follow my cue. Please bring your hands up overhead. Walk your feet to the right side of your mat. Both heels come all the way over to the edge of your mat. Flex your feet up. Good. And now your right hand will hold your left wrist and you're going to begin to draw your right arms over. So literally your feet are off to the right edge and your arms are off to the right edge and you're kicking your hips to the left side. Take deep breaths here, C stretch. Beautiful. Drop that left hip down to the mat. Put a little bit of weight to that left hip. Barbara, we're actually on our backs on the mat, if you can do that. If not, you're doing exactly what you need to do. It's a stretch. Beautiful. Energetically, I'm coming around and feeling a lot of pressure in your left hip, dropping it down. And if your arms don't love being overhead, you can bend elbows into cactus stretch. And then gently stretch your arms back up overhead. Arms can come into cactus if it's more comfortable. Walk your feet back to the center. Knees come into your body. Knees come in. Gently rocking side to side. And then bring your feet back out to the length of your mat. Arms can come back up overhead. Elbows bent or straight. And begin to walk your feet over to the opposite edge of your mat. So left edge of your mat, shifting your hips, maybe starting by lifting your hips to the side a little bit. Here we go. So my hips are a little further to the right of my mat. And now my feet can still be on the rubber part of the mat. Hands up overhead. My left hand holds my right wrist. And now the key thing is to drop some weight into that right hip. So we're getting this beautiful, long, arcing stretch. Taking a deep breath, where can you let go? Maybe let go in your glutes, in your quads, in your jaw muscle, releasing your shoulders. A beautiful C arc stretch. And then bending one knee, planting a knee and a foot, bringing your feet back into underneath your body. Shift your hips back to the center of your mat. Elbows can bend and come forward. Hands come up in front of you, and then knees come up to meet hands, stretching your feet up to the ceiling. And my beautiful niece, when she was 2 years old, dubs this pose Aunt Karen's dead bug. And to this day, my now 31-year-old niece signs her letters dead bug. But this is such a beautiful pose with flexed hands and flexed feet, please. Flex your fingers back. Right hand begins to pull the left fingers back. And that left foot probably is going to follow suit a little bit. And then switching sides, the left fingers pull the right fingers back. Flexing everything out, beautiful. And then point your toes, roll your fingers and your wrists and your ankles around both ways. This is when dead bug comes back to life, she said. We still have movement. Bring your knees into your body, hands come behind your legs. Pull your knees tightly into your chest and lift your heads up to meet. And then drop your shoulders back down to the mat. Gently extend the left leg out to the mat, and you can start by just having the left foot planted with the knee up, or you can stretch the leg straight out. And then very gently, left hand on top of right knee, begin to pull that knee over to the left shoulder and gently twist. Very gently coming into a side twist. Exhaling down. Positioning by turning the right palm up to the ceiling, and then turn your head towards the right side. That knee is bent. Beautiful. Everybody let go of the left leg. Wiggle it, bounce it a little bit. Release the quads of the left leg. This is what we call the standing leg if we were up in the air. Deep breath here, inhale. And exhale. And then gently, as you inhale, bring the right knee back to the center of the body. Right hand holds it. Bring the left knee in to meet it. And now extend the right leg out on the mat. Left knee, Apanasana, comes into the body. Wiggle your shoulders so that the shoulder blades are back on the mat. Chins are gently tucked. Flex your foot. Maybe circle that foot around a little bit, loosening up the ankle joint. Right hand comes on left knee and begin to gently, as much as it feels comfortable, begin to draw the right knee or left knee across the body. And allowing that stretch to deepen slowly, maybe releasing some lower back. My right hand is on top of that outer left thigh to gently push the hip away from me. And my left arm is now in cactus or straight out. And gently turning my head towards that upturned left palm. Take some deep breaths here. Where can you let go, especially in that right extended leg? Not the left bent knee as much, but where can you let go in that hip to release? All right, beautiful work. And gently bring that knee back into the body. The other knee comes up to meet it. Gently extending both feet up to the ceiling. Flex the feet again. Maybe rock the feet side to side, just to the tip of the left pelvic crest and then the right. And then come to stillness. Cross your legs at the ankles and draw your knees back into your body. Hands slide down your shins. And then gently, the left hand finds the right foot and the right hand finds the left foot. Flex your feet. flex your feet. Good deal. I like how you have your toes grabbed. If it's more comfortable to draw your knees into your body to get a hold of your feet, that's perfectly fine. And then slowly and gently bring your bending your elbows, bending your knees. You are folding like an origami piece of beautiful artwork. Fold your feet in close to your hips now. And this means drawing the knees away from the body. I am now just barely holding my arches of my feet under the balls of my toes. My thumbs are on the balls of my feet. My forefingers are on the tops of my feet. So I sort of have a sandwich grip, like a bird's beak of my toes. Now what I want to do is gently, confidently, gently draw the knees away from the body, beginning to open the legs into a cross-legged opening. You're going to feel a beautiful stretch in the top of the hips, possibly dropping your knees down to the mat. Gorgeous. If you need to let go of your feet to do this, now your hands release your feet and they come to the tops of your thighs and gently push that crease away from the hips. Straightening out yoga pants if needed. Beautiful, gentle traction of your hands on tops of your thighs. Release your elbows down to your mat. Eyes are closed. Take a deep breath. Relaxing into this stretch. Do you feel both sides of your sacrum, the left glutes and the right glutes, have equal position on the mat? If not, wiggle just a little bit to try to get yourself hips flat, sacrum flat. And now both hands come on either sides of those outstretched thighs. Gently draw, using lower ab strength here, draw your knees back up in to touch. And then hands and knees, or feet are down on the mat, feet are down and planted. Hands come up overhead as you lift into a bridge pose. Opposite stretching of what we did to pull the knees in. Now we're pulling the hips up to the ceiling. Exhale, draw your hands back down slowly, one vertebra at a time. And inhale, hips come up, pressing again. If you'd like to place a block between your knees for a little more hip stability, lifting hips up to the ceiling, pressing up beautifully. And as you exhale, this is a long, slow exhale. Hands come down, hips come down. Inhale again, lifting hips up to the ceiling. Beautiful bridge pose. Pressing the pubic bone in. Neck has a very gentle, natural arch and curve. Exhale, draw the hands down and hips come down also. Follow your own breath with this. And squeezing, lifting up again, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips. Lower abs are helping us lift up and stabilize the hips. And exhale, come down again. If you have a block between your knees, remove the block to the side. Reposition the feet so that the heels are close to the hips. This time as you inhale, just lift your hips up. Hands stay down. Hands stay down. Lift. You should have a flat line. Good ability to breathe. Reach the crown of your head towards the top of your mat. And now isolate the right hip, lifting it up a little bit more, and then drop it down. We're literally just rocking like a cradle. Our left hip comes up, and then down. And now the right hip comes up and down. And one more time, lift the left hip up, squeezing our glutes and hamstrings. Drop your hips back down to the mat. Beautiful work. Bring your knees into your body. Hands come behind the legs. Gently rock side to side to release. And now cross your legs in the opposite way. My right was over my left. Now my left is over my right. Hands slide down the legs, grasping the ankles or the feet, whatever works. And gently lifting the feet up to the ceiling. So now my knees and my elbows are making contact, rocking side to side. And gently begin to bend the elbows, pulling your feet or your ankles or your shins, folding in the beautiful origami. Knees, so as you drop your hands and your feet, place your feet between a bird's beak of your hands. So the forefingers are on tops of the feet, thumbs are holding, safely holding the balls of your feet. And then gently, with a safety cue for your nervous system, begin to drop your knees away from your body. However you can get your knees all the way down to the mat, feet landing first, and then knees are stretching towards the deep far edge of your mat, away from your body. Okay, fighting the guitar as you come down, knees, and then gently place your hands on top of your thighs to press the leg bones away from the pelvic socket, feeling a beautiful stretch in the sides of the hips, the tops of the thighs. Take a couple of very deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Grounding deeply, safely in the mat. Beautiful work. Both hands come on either sides of the thighs. Release your feet towards the edge of the downside of the mat, towards the long edge. Then bring your knees into your body. Hands come behind your knees. Clasp your hands and then rock side to side. And then gently rock to one side of your body and stay there for a moment on your side. Take a deep breath. And as you inhale, begin to come up to a seated position. And from here, we're going to move to our bellies. So come into a hands and knee position first. Knees wide, toes together, and begin to drop down into a child's pose. I'm going to move my blanket in my position and angle so I can face you guys for this. Coming into a child's pose, dropping hands, heads forward. Drop your chest as much as you can into this child's pose. Releasing your elbows out in front of you. Sometimes it feels really nice to have a block to support our foreheads and shoulders. Letting your chest just fall to the mat. Humble child's pose, Garbhasana or Balasana. Walking fingertips out a little bit more in front of us. And deep breath to inhale, coming up to hands and knee position. Dia, you might want to put your blanket underneath your knees here. A little extra padding for knees if indicated. Stretching your behind you, your left foot comes straight out behind you. Toes are pressing down, opening, yes, opening those feet. Such a beautiful stretch here. Shift your weight over to that left side. And actually what I want you to do is roll forward onto the toe. You're literally just rolling your body in an oval around your mat. Feeling all those different areas with that leg extended. Where does it feel yummy in the stretch? Maybe drop your toes down so now you're on the top part of your foot. And just going side to side. As you go side to side now, hold to the right side with your anchor. Your foot is your anchor. Good, Patsy, nice. And as you drop down, feel that deep stretch over the top part of the hip. Come back up to the center and very gently come off to the left side on the extended leg. You should be feeling this all through the top part of the back and over the top part of the hip. Release your toes. Let them wiggle here. And come up to center and now extend the right leg out behind you. Toes are curled, pressing the heel back to the back. Beautiful stretch. Drop that right hip down and begin to circle around your mat. Kind of just making an egg shape over your mat as you draw back. It's just a few inches of a stretch. Heads come forward, hips come back, heads come back with it. Maybe go the opposite direction. Very grounding pose here to be able to feel the earth under our hands. If this bothers your wrist, please fist your hands and have a straight line coming down from your elbows. And now the top of the foot is flat on the mat, pressing the toes back. Lift your heads, lift your tailbone up. Then curl the belly under, curl the head down. It's an extension of cat-cow pose. Inhale, lift again. Flexing the spine. Oh, yummy. I feel like there's a cat sitting on the middle of my back. And then pull under, pull your hips under, pull your bellies up, round your shoulders down. Bring your knee down and come one more time into wide-legged, toes together, child's pose to release. Dropping your heads. Take some deep breaths here. Feel your energy grounding down into your mat. Feel the solidity of your body. And inhale back up to hands and knees. And now gently begin from forearms. We're on forearms here. Good. Gently extend right leg out or left leg out behind you and come down to the left hip. There we go. And now from forearms, turn and lift. Arm up. Flex the knee that is bent. There you are. Flex the foot of the knee that is bent. Inhale, and as you exhale, coming down, exchange legs and knees, draw that right leg out to the mat, bring your left knee into your body. This is a kind of a favorite sleeping pose, especially for babies. They love sleeping with one knee up. And flex that foot. Good. Bring your left leg up, and then gently turn and twist. Opening up. Very gentle twist here. And then bring it back down again. Extend that leg behind you. Drop your faces down towards your mat so you take the strain off your lower back. Tuck your elbows into your sides. Foreheads come down to the mat. Tops of your feet press. Pubic bone tucks under. Lift your lower abs. You could almost slide your hand underneath your abdominal area. And inhale, pull your head forward into cobra. Gentle back bend. Faces are looking down. You should almost be able to float your hands on your mat as you breathe. Maybe you need your hands and forearms here for a little support. Taking a deep breath here. Inhale, lift a little more. And exhale, dropping down. Maybe turn your cheek to one side. As you drop your head, try to lengthen your head forward. Instead of closing your body down, pull your shoulders and elbows towards the back part of your mat. Very subtle little cues here that will help you get the most out of a belly position and lengthening of the spine. Press your feet, push your pubic bone down, lift your abs and lift the crown of your head towards the front of the room, almost pulling back traction on your hands as you lift into a cobra. Faces are looking down, the back of the neck is long. Really getting some length in our bodies. Beautiful, everyone. And drop down, perhaps turn the opposite cheek to the mat, going down. And inhale, lift again. Feet, hips, bellies are all planting and lifting. Heads come up, take a deep breath. Can you release your hips? Let your back do the work. This is a back strengthening exercise. Pulling those chins under and come down, head turns. And one more time, lifting up, lift the head up, 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 lift, chest and head. Inhale and exhale, and drop down, cheek turns. Beautiful, everyone. Shifting your hips side to side to release. One more time, please. Lift up, head's crown of the head pulls towards the front of the room. Breathing in and come down again. Nice work. And now, with your head turned, gently bend your right knee, right foot and right knee. Reach behind to grab that foot. And flex the foot. And if you need your strap here, do you need a strap here? Got it? She's got it. And your hand is on the ankle, so please press, flexing that foot, press the foot back. You can bring your heads to the center if it's easier. If you still like your cheek down to the mat, that's fine. What I'd like you to do now is inhale, lift the head, lift your chest, bring that shoulder that's holding the foot back behind you and begin to press that foot out and back behind you. Half lift here. And breathe. Good. And then drop it back down. Release that foot. Turn your cheek the opposite way. Bending your left foot in. Draw your left hand behind you to grab that ankle. And just stay there for a moment. Just stay there for a moment with this beautiful quad stretch. Trying to draw your knees together. We'll give you a little bit more of stretch on the outer part of the hip. Flex that foot. Experience what it feels like with some good foot flexion there. And then inhale, this is half bow pose. The left or the right hand is down to give you some ballast as you lift your chest, tuck your chin. Can you lift this left shoulder back behind you as you press the foot towards the back of the room? Can you lift that knee off the mat? If the lower back pinches, please drop your heads. You're trying to extend the knee away from the body and the hip as you lift into a gentle back bend, breathing. And then exhale, drop that leg down to the mat. Hands come under your shoulders. Hands come under your shoulders and lift again into Cobra. As you lift into Cobra, pull your lower abs in, pushing your hands up almost in Chaturanga, lifting your bodies, lift your hips, come back up into hands and knee tabletop. As you take your exhale, come down slowly into child's pose. Beautiful work there. This is a release for the lower back. Pull the bellies in to support. 2 deep breaths here, please. To inhale, fill your back body, fill through the kidney areas. Release in the hips, sinking your hips down. Another good deep breath here to get some oxygen to our cells as we remove and shift. And then as you inhale, come into hands and knee position, tabletop. Bringing your bodies up slowly and gently. Lifting, putting your weight into the left hand, squaring up your weight between these 3 points. Lift the right arm up to the ceiling. And then gently sweep it through and thread the needle to draw the hips up to the ceiling, a gentle twist. The left hand palm is down to support, or you can place the hand by your face as a prop. And the other option is to gently sweep the left hand behind your body, resting the palm upward, to drop the left shoulder down and drop the left elbow. What works for your body? Tapping the toes, tapping the tops of the feet to remind us that we're grounded here. And take a deep breath, inhale. And exhale, beautiful. Release the hand that's behind the back if that's where you went. Flatten the palm. Untwist, counter pose, twist to come up on that standing hand, sweep into a twist, up and then down. As you inhale, the opposite arm comes up to the ceiling, lift. And as you exhale, it comes underneath and through, dropping our faces down into a thread the needle shoulder stretch. The right hand comes by your face. Elbow out, and the option here, alternate way to do this pose, is to sweep the right hand and elbow comes out to the side with the right palm up to the ceiling. Drop that right shoulder down to open the upper part of the back. If I was behind you, I'd be gently pulling down on that right shoulder to open the space between your right ear and the right shoulder blade. Beautiful deep stretch for the shoulders, rotator cuffs, all those beautiful muscles in the posterior portion of the shoulder. And now removing the hand from the sacrum, placing it back down if that's where you went with this pose, pressing up, gently drawing weight back into all four arms, knees, or hands and knees, and then lift and counter twist up and coming back down. Beautiful work. Gently bring your knees back in towards each other. Knees and feet are together. Curl your toes underneath your feet. Gently curling your toes so you have some beautiful foot opening happening here. Walking your hands back. What I want everyone to do is actually rotate the eyes of your elbows. Make them work. Just a little bit of twist here. Oh, that's kind of an interesting sensation for the shoulders. Slowly twisting and rotating. It's a ball and socket joint. Often doesn't get the same amount of movement as our legs do. Now gently begin to walk your hands up to your thighs. Pulling bellies in, And yes, your toes are still curled under if you can tolerate it. If not, flatten your feet out behind you. And begin to lift to a knee standing position. Don't let your yoga pants come off in the middle of class. It just doesn't serve, even though we're all ladies. Lifting arms up. A little levity here as we lift. Intertwine your fingers. My toes are still curled under, your choice. Lift and rotate the palms up to the ceiling, stretching shoulders. And then very gently release your toes from their position with arms up. Press your hips forward. Bring your hands slowly to the back of your sacrum. Knees are a little bit wider, like shoulder width apart. Pressing right here and very gently push your pelvis forward. Drop your chin in. A little bit of a counter stretch to the work we did today. Breathe. Then inhale, both arms come up and lift. As you exhale, drop your left hand down and gently look behind you. Maybe your feet or your fingertips touch that left heel for some grounding. And then windmill, switching your arms up, switch and roll. Opposite hand comes to the back of the heel. Pull the bellies in, push the hips forward. Nice adjustment, Patsy. I saw you do that with your hips. And then gently coming down, making our way to the mat for Shavasana. So gently and slowly bring everything down and begin to come to one hip. Setting up for Shavasana to have a blanket roll under your knees. Patsy's going to do a legs up the wall, restorative pose. Anything that feels good here. Yes, beautiful. As we get into the supportive position of Shavasana, walking our bodies down to the mat to stretch out fully. Good job, Patsy. I know exactly what you're doing to get your hips to the mirror. Let your feet fall apart. Let those knees open slightly to the side. Good. Just a little bit of space between the knees. Feet can fall. Beautiful, Barbara. Shoulders back. Palms down to ground. Palms up to receive, whatever feels more open for your body. Take a couple of full and deep breaths here, filling your lungs. Let your belly expand. As the air swirls up through the midbrain, with the exhale, let the breath flow over you like warm syrup, grounding you into the mat. You gently, completely ground into the floor. Let your thoughts drift. Attach them to a gentle breeze and let them flow as you go inward. Each breath, deeply inhaling, the exhale drops you lower into that quiet, cozy spot of Shavasana. Let everything go. Let it drop. Feel heavy. Just let the mat and the earth hold you now.
Now begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, taking a couple of deep, deep breaths. Gently coming back into the present moment, gently awakening out of the depths of your Shavasana. Begin to move your hands and feet. Bring one knee into the body and then the other. Roll to one side and stay there for a moment. Take a full deep breath on your side before we begin to come back up into seated posture. Gently straightening the spine, lifting the chest, shoulders drop. And bringing hands back into heart space in Anjali Mudra. Thumbs gently touching the heart. Back to the beginning of class, knowing that of all the things we can have in our lives, what we do with our compassion, what we do with our patience, what we do with our joy is the most important thing we can do today, to take those actions into the world and start with ourselves. The inner light in me sees and honors the inner light in each of you as my teacher and my guides. Namaste.